dare say that at the root of so many contemporary situations is a kind of radical loneliness that so many people live in today. Running after the latest fad, a like, accumulating followers on any of the social networks. And we, human beings, get caught up in what contemporary society has to offer. Loneliness with fear of commitment. In a limitless effort to feel recognized. Should we blame our young people for having grown up in this kind of society? Should we condemn them for living in this kind of world? Should they hear their pastors saying things like, "It was all better back then. The world is falling apart. And if things go on this way, who knows where we will end up?" That sounds a little bit like an Argentine tango. I don't think that this is the way. As shepherds, following in the footsteps of the Good Shepherd, we are asked to seek out, to accompany, to lift up, to bind up the wounds of our time, to look at things realistically with the eyes of one who feels called to action, to pastoral conversion. The world today demands this conversion on our part. It is vitally important for the church today to go forth and preach the gospel to all places, on all occasions, without hesitation, reluctance, or fear. The joy of the gospel is for all people. No one can be excluded. The gospel is not a product for consumption. It is not part of the culture of consumerism. We would be mistaken, however, if to see this culture of the present world as mere indifference towards marriage and the family, as pure and simple selfishness. Are today's young people hopelessly timid, weak, or inconsistent? We must not fall into this trap. Many young people in this context of culture and discouragement have yielded to a form of unconscious acquiescence and fear. They are feeling that fear, that unconscious fear. They are paralyzed when they encounter the more noble and truly necessary challenges. There are many who put off marriage while waiting for ideal conditions, when everything can be perfect. Meanwhile, life goes on, and they live it without living it to its fullest. Because knowledge of life's true pleasures only comes as the fruit of a long-term, generous investment of our intelligence, enthusiasm, and passion. In the Congress a few days ago, I said we are living in a culture
impulsa
that
y
pushes
convence a los
and
jóvenes
convinces
a
our
no
youth
fundar una
to
familia.
not create families.
Unos por la falta de
Some
medios
because they don't have the means at their
materiales
disposal.
para
They don't
hacerlo.
have the material means to do so.
Y otros
And
por
others
tener tantos
because they
medios
have so much
que están muy
at their
cómodos
disposal
así.
that they're very comfortable as they are.
Pero esa es la tentación,
That is the
no
temptation,
fundar una familia.
to not create a family.
Como pastores,
As pastors,
los obispos estamos
we bishops
llamados
are
a unar
called to
fuerzas,
collect our energies
relanzar el
and to
entusiasmo
rebuild
para que
enthusiasm
se formen
for making
familias que de
families
acuerdo con
and
su
correspond
vocación
ever more fully
correspondan más plenamente a
ever
la
more fully
bendición de Dios.
to the blessing of God, which they are.
Tenemos que emplear nuestras
We need
energías
to invest our energies
no tanto en explicar una
not so
y
much
otra vez
in
los
rehearsing
defectos de la época
the problems
actual
of the world
y los
around us
méritos
over
del
and over again
cristianismo,
and the merits of
sino en
Christianity,
invitar con franqueza a los jóvenes a que
in
sean
extending a sincere
audaces
invitation to the young people
y
to be
elijan
brave
el matrimonio
and to
y
opt
la
for
familia.
marriage and the family.
Buenos Aires, cuántas
In
mujeres se
Buenos
lamentaban.
Aires, how many women
Tengo mi hijo 30, 32,
telling me,
34
my
años.
son is 30, 34
Y no
years
se
old,
casa, no sé
and
qué hacer.
he's not getting married. I don't know what to
Señora, no
do.
le planche más las camisas.
And I say, don't iron his shirts anymore.
Hay que entusiasmar a los jóvenes
We have to encourage
que
our youth
corran ese riesgo.
that they take that
Es
risk
un riesgo de fecundidad y de vida.
because they need to move toward fruitfulness
También
and
aquí se
life.
necesita una santa
Here too,
parresía.
we need a bit of holy paresia from the
¿Por qué no
bishops.
te casas?
Why aren't you getting married?
Sí, tengo novia, pero
Well,
no
I have a
sabemos,
girlfriend,
que
but
sí,
I don't
que
know.
no,
We're
que
not sure what to do.
Juntamos plata para
We
la
are saving
fiesta,
money
que
for
para
our marriage
la
party.
santa parresía
There needs
de
to be that holy paresia to
y
be with
hacerlos
them
madurar
and help
hacia el compromiso
them
del
move
matrimonio.
toward a commitment of marriage and to have
Un
them
cristianismo
develop.
que se hace
A
poco
Christianity
en la realidad
which does little in
y se
practice
explica
while
infinitamente
incessantly
en la
explaining
formación
its teachings
está peligrosamente desproporcionado.
dangerously
Diría que
unbalanced.
está en un verdadero
I would even
y
say
propio
that it is
círculo
stuck
vicioso.
in a vicious circle.
El pastor ha de mostrar
A
que el
pastor must show
evangelio de la
that the
familia
gospel of the family
es
is truly
verdaderamente buena
good
noticia
news.
para un mundo en que la
In a world
preocupación
where
por uno
self-concern
mismo
seems
reina por encima de
to
todo.
reign supreme.
No se trata de fantasía romántica.
We are not speaking
La
about some
tenacidad
romantic
para
dream.
formar una
The
familia
perseverance
y
which is
sacarla
called for
adelante
in having a family
transforma
and raising
el
it
mundo
transforms
y la
the
historia.
world
Son las familias
and
las
history.
que transforman
Families
el mundo y la historia.
transform history and
El
transform
pastor
the world.
anuncia
A pastor
serena y
serenely
apasionadamente
yet
la palabra de
passionately
Dios.
proclaims the word
Anima a
of
los
God.
creyentes a aspirar a
He
lo más
encourages
alto.
believers to aim
Hará
high.
que sus hermanos y hermanas
He
sean
will enable
capaces
his
de
brothers and
escuchar
sisters to hear
y
and
practicar las promesas de
experience
Dios
God's
que
promise,
amplían también la
which can expand
experiencia
their
de
experience
la
of
maternidad
motherhood
y de la
and
paternidad
fatherhood
en el horizonte
within
de una nueva
the horizon
familiaridad con
of
Dios.
a new familiarity with God.
El pastor
A pastor
vela el sueño, la
watches
vida,
over
el
dreams,
crecimiento de sus
the
ovejas.
lives, and the growth of his
Este
flock.
velar
This
no
watchfulness
nace del
is
discursear,
not the result of
sino
talking,
del
but
pastorear.
of shepherding.
Solo es capaz de velar
Only
quien sabe
one
estar
capable
en
of
medio
standing
de,
in the midst
Quien no le tiene miedo a las preguntas.
In the midst of the flock,
Quien no le tiene miedo al
someone
contacto.
who is not afraid
al
of questions, contact, and accompaniment
El pastor vela en primer lugar con la
is one who can do the
oración,
job. A pastor keeps
sosteniendo la
watch
fe
first
de
and
su pueblo,
foremost with prayer, supporting the
transmitiendo
faith of his
confianza
people
en el
and
Señor,
instilling
en
confidence
su
in the Lord,
presencia.
in his presence.
El pastor
A pastor
siempre está en vela,
is always
ayudando a
vigilant
levantar la
by helping
mirada
people to lift their gaze at times
el
of
desgano,
discouragement,
la frustración
frustration,
y las caídas.
and failure.
Sería bueno preguntarnos
It would be
si en nuestro
important for us to
ministerio
ask whether in our pastoral ministry
sabemos
we
perder
are
el
ready
tiempo
to,
con la familia.
quote unquote, waste time with families,
Sabemos estar con ellas,
whether we are ready to be
compartir
present with
sus
them,
dificultades
sharing their difficulties
y sus alegrías.
and sharing their joys.
Naturalmente,
Naturally,
el rasgo fundamental del estilo de vida del obispo
experiencing the spirit of this joyful familiarity,
vivir el espíritu
this
de esta
joyful
gozosa familiaridad con
familiarity
Dios.
with God,
Y,
and
en segundo lugar,
secondly,
difundir
spreading it
la emocionante fecundidad.
and spreading its powerful evangelical fruitfulness has to be the primary feature
Rezar
of the
y
lifestyle of our
anunciar el
bishops,
evangelio.
a lifestyle
Siempre
of preaching the
me llamó
gospel.
la atención y me golpeó.
But I've always
Cuando-
been surprised
Al principio,
when, at the
el primer
beginning,
tiempo de la iglesia, los
the beginning of the
helenistas se
church,
fueron a
the
quejar
Hellenists went and complained
porque las viudas y los
because
huérfanos
the
no eran bien atendidos.
orphans
Los apóstoles
and
no daban abasto. Entonces,
widows were not taken care of,
descuidaban.
but the apostles couldn't
Se
do it all,
reunieron,
and they would get together
inventaron los diáconos.
and they invented the position of deacon.
El Espíritu Santo
The Holy
les inspiró
Spirit inspired them
constituir diáconos.
to appoint
Y cuando
deacons.
Pedro
And when Peter
anuncia la decisión,
announces this
Explica.
decision, he explains,
vamos a elegir
we are
7
going to
hombres,
choose
así,
7 men
para que se ocupen de
so
este
that
asunto.
they can address this issue.
Y a nosotros
And we
nos tocan dos cosas:
have 2 things to do:
la oración
prayer
y la predicación.
and preaching.
¿Cuál es el primer
What is
trabajo
the
del
first
obispo?
job of a bishop?
Orar,
To pray.
rezar.
To pray.
El segundo trabajo
The
que va
second
junto con eso,
job that goes hand in
predicar.
hand is to preach.
nos ayuda esta
This
definición
definition,
dogmática.
this dogmatic definition
me
helps
equivoco,
us.
Cardenal Miller,
Now, Cardinal Miller, if I'm not mistaken,
Nos ayuda,
this helps
nos
us.
ayuda,
It helps
porque
us
define cuál
because it
es el
defines
rol del
what
obispo.
the role of a bishop
obispo
is.
es
The bishop
constituido para
is constituted
Pastorear, es pastor,
to be a pastor,
pero pastorear primero con la
to shepherd,
oración
but first with
y
prayer,
con el anuncio.
and then with
Después viene todo lo demás si
Predication.
queda tiempo.
and proclaiming the gospel.
Nosotros mismos, por tanto,
And if you have time, you do the
aceptando con
rest.
humildad el
And
aprendizaje
accept with
cristiano de las
humble
virtudes
Christian
domésticas
apprenticeship in the
del pueblo
familial
de Dios,
virtues of God's people.
nos asemejaremos cada
By
vez
doing
más
this, we will become more and more
y a las
like fathers
madres,
and
como
mothers,
hace Pablo
as did St. Paul
en la primera a los tesalonicenses,
in the
en el
first
capítulo 2.
epistle to the
Procurando
Thessalonians,
no acabar
And we will be less like people who have simply learned to live without a family. To distance ourselves from the family will create people who have learned to live without families. That is ugly. Very ugly. Our ideal is not to live without love. A good pastor renounces the love of a family precisely in order to focus all his energies and the grace of his particular vocation on the evangelical blessing of the love of men and women who carry forward God's plan of creation, beginning with those who are lost, abandoned, wounded, broken, downtrodden, and deprived of their dignity. This total surrender to God's agape is certainly not a vocation lacking in tenderness and affection. We need but look to Jesus to understand this. The mission of a good pastor in the style of God, and only God can authorize this, not our own presumption, imitates in every way and for all people the Son's love for the Father. This is reflected in the tenderness with which a pastor devotes himself to the loving care of the men and women of our human family. For the eyes of faith, this is a most valuable sign. Our ministry needs to deepen the covenant between the church and the family. And let me highlight this. We must develop the covenant between the church and the family. Otherwise, it becomes arid. And the human family will grow because by our own fault, it will grow irremediably distant from God's joyful good news. And they'll go to the local supermarket that is most popular, and they will go and purchase that product that they desire most at the moment. If we prove capable of the demanding task of reflecting God's love, cultivating infinite patience and serenity as we strive to sow its seeds in the frequently crooked furrows in which we are called to plant, and we do need to sow in these crooked furrows with great frequency. Then even, for example, a Samaritan woman with 5 non-husbands will discover that she is capable of giving witness. And for every rich young man who with sadness feels that he has to calmly keep considering the matter, there will be an older publican